What's up, family? Jamie here. All right, so I'm gonna try to run through this for my journal for myself. Welcome to my headspace. I was listening to ICT this morning. I gave him 2 hours of my time and I tapped out. Uh, what I noticed is that with what we learned from ICT, it's like take what you've learned and you can really move on. You don't have to continuously study it or him or his concepts. But I love him, and I just wish he would talk to his son and not us. And then we can just get a solid lesson and move on, but whatevs. So anyway, what I noticed this morning is that we had AMD. And with AMD, it's tricky because sometimes it'll give what I call a 1-2 punch. I don't know what he calls it, but it'll like accumulate, manipulate down and then up and then come back down. So I'm going to be watching this to see if we continue to drop here. And this would be the 1-2 punch, like 1-2. And the way it's coming down right now, it's like, maybe that's what we got going on. Especially because when I show you on my other chart, we just ran some buy side liquidity. So this could be that 1-2 punch. But I'm just showing this chart for myself and for my notes because when we dropped down, basically all we did was go into equilibrium of the previous day's range. I know ICT in his talk today and in his talks last week, he's been talking about the new week opening gap and the new day opening gap and how that's, the drawn liquidity. But I just find it interesting that even with that new day opening gap that he had on his chart, this right here was a um better target for me. So we got that. So we come over here. I know this is quite funkadelic, but my main purpose over here is to show my setup in this gray. I look for the 2022 YouTube model in this gray box. It's from 7 to 10 Eastern. And I saw two setups and I'm going to look at them. But before I go there, this little target right here were these relative equal highs over here. So right now it does look like we have our little 1-2 punch, but we'll see. We'll see how the day plays out. So I'm gonna take well, I don't have the new day opening gap that he had on his chart. It's oops. It is somewhere up in here. So it ended up going to 50% of the previous day's range. But for the purposes of this, I am going to go ahead and look for the 2022 YouTube model and then be done with it. So one thing I will say is what I saw right here. And again, I don't walk through the model. I just look for the model and look for my entry and then move on. If you want to learn the model, he has a 41 video playlist that you can check out. I'll link it in the description going forward, just in case people want to check it out. But for the long entry, there was a setup here. I don't really particularly like it because it's not really clean. And my my stop would have to go like, technically down here, but I guess I could put it there. So if I did that, let's hope it don't tag me in on no crazy order. If I had my stop there, let's see, if I just risk my 500, technically it should be down here, but I could put it here. So let's just say I, put it down lower and I took it up to this buy side up here. Oops. If I got in there and got out there, that's a nice little bag for the day. Good night. Goodbye. I'm done. So we got that. If I had it here, because it's not cute, and since my risk tolerance is, oh, I didn't realize that was 2 contracts. Okay, cool. So that means I could do 3 contracts. So I can be up here. So that's good. I would just have to know that, what the pain is when, it takes liquidity and then turns around and does all this thing. Sometimes you want to be in here and then just have it run up 500 points, but you just, I guess it's just best to target liquidity because we already know that it can turn around at liquidity. So that is a long entry during my trading window time. And that's a nice trade. Then we have right here, which again is not clean. I don't particularly like it, but it's the model. And this is actually where ICT had added on some contracts on his position. He got in on this order block right here. That he added some contracts here. And what is interesting and what I'm surprised that he did like it, with him getting in here, and I think he added some contracts here too. Oh, this was a mistake. I think his dog did something and caused him to push a button accidentally. But then I believe he got in on this fair value gap, or it was this order block. I can't remember. But I think his entry was like somewhere up here. I have to look at the I'll see if I could pull up the live stream to get a screenshot for this video. But it's like he had his target on the new week opening gap, or I think it was a new day opening gap somewhere in this level. So it's like one of those examples where we take a trade and we move our stop and it ends up going to our target. So while it's nice to see that, he's imperfect, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, he got paid. Like he peeled off some some profit here, and then he got stopped out when it came up here. And I think he was locked in at 2,200. So I mean, it was still a monster trade, but it's just a note for myself. Like if I believe in my analysis and I believe price is going to a particular level, then just trust the analysis or let my stop work, So it's better said than done, easier said than done, but here we are. So price dropped down to 50% of the range, and then it just set up and went right up to run this liquidity. And, obviously by this time, if I was in this trade, like I would have got out like right before my cutoff for trading. And let's say I did get in up here on this fair value gap. And since it's small, let's just say I got in on the edge, sell 2 contracts, stop loss should really go up there. But I'm gonna put it right there. And then if I had the awareness to trade it to the previous day, a range equilibrium, then I would have been out here. So that's a whole $5,800. And let's just say I was just going for low-hanging fruit. You know, that would have me at either here for 1,400, 16. If it's gonna go there, I would think that it would come here because these are relative equal lows right here, then right here. And one of the things he says is if you're bullish, it's nice to go long below the week open. So say I even took 6 p.m. as my draw on liquidity, that's, 3,400. Then again, our equilibrium of the previous day range is there. So let me see for myself in my notes if I actually took a screenshot, but oh my God, he's still going.
To the degree it does it. I understand it's
so over here, what did I want to show? Oh, it doesn't let me run it back. Boo. Boo. That's too bad. But yeah, so he got in on the order block, added contract here. I think he said that that was a mistake. Got in here at this order block and the fair value gap. Let me do it like this so we can see. Got in at the order block after liquidity was taken. Price drops down, comes into the fair value gap. That was a mistake, I believe he said. Then created this order block displacement, fair value gap, order block, and he got in there. And then he peeled some off when it ran liquidity here, I believe is what he did. And then when it pushed up, he got out on this candle. It pushed up here and he had to stop here. So, I don't know where I wish I could show it in this video, where his order was after like averaging in. But I think he would have still been safe here, to take it all the way down to his target, which he said it was going to be drawn here. But as we know, that's 50% retracement on the previous day's range. So that's all I got for my notes today. Again, this is where am I at? This is day 7. No, this is day 8. This is day 8 of this, seeing this model. Let me make sure. I should know all this stuff. Day 8. Every day during the New York kill zone, the model has shown up. And today it wasn't as clean as I would like to see it, but it sure did play out. And I love it. So that is all I got to say. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye.